Excellent. So, welcome to the second requirements office hours here. Now, a time where we can just ask questions, talk about thoughts, and going forward, and see where we're at. And if there's any problems or questions, we can hopefully get them resolved in a timely fashion, keep people moving forward. So, yeah, is there anything people want to talk about today? Could be a relatively short meeting. Hello, John. Welcome.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, no problem. I was just telling people I have updated the meeting notice to go every other week in different time zones. So there's a morning and an afternoon. So hopefully that works better for more people.
Cool.
So, Jan, first question, I'm going to vocalize that.
Yeah, just looking again at the issue, and one idea is whether we should make sure we keep the description up to date according to discussion under this issue, because there are many great comments from customers or end users, and we are keep updating the ideas how the MVC should be implemented. So perhaps we could update also the description according to the actual plans.
No, absolutely. I intended to go through that today actually and try to kind of catch the description, make sure the description's up to date. Nick and I had a great discussion sort of I think it was the end of last week, or was it yesterday? It was yesterday, about design going forward. So I'm pretty sure he's working to make sure the wireframes are up to date in that as well, and that'll be coming out soon. It has been moved to planning breakdown, so we can start kind of breaking off incremental work. I know there's a lot of work on that, so the more we can break it down, probably the easier it'll be for everybody. But yeah, I'll take an action to go ahead and do that.
Cool, thanks.
Absolutely. Very good point. Anything else from anyone? Just a sort of a status update, I guess, as we're going here. I can vocalize it and I'll type it up too. We have gone ahead and Nick and I, as I said, worked yesterday trying to figure out what our plan was for the MVC. There's a great comment posted there by Gabe Weaver about how, if we can make this visually like a visual editor, it would be a very, great selling point. And I don't think anybody disagrees with that, but that is an awful large update. And I know Nick was going to try to touch base with Donald. I'm out the rest of this week after today. So he was going to try to touch base with Donald and the front end team and just sort of talk to them a little bit about, is that a achievable option? And I think what we were leaning toward was not necessarily going fully visual for the MVC, sticking with lists and textual based, but then adding this visual component to it. So you can click to view the visual component. And then over time, if we want to, go ahead and add more functionality into the visual component. And if we want to eventually, depending on customer desires, we could migrate over to that in the future. The underlying architecture should be the same. It's just we can figure from there, based on demand and how people are using it. If we can get some user statistics, we can determine if that's something that we really do want to go toward. So I think that's sort of what we're leaning for MVC. I think that'll make it a much more achievable MVC, and I think it'll give people a familiar interface to start with as well, because pretty much all the requirements tools in the market right now are done in sort of an Excel type looking sheet or textual based. So I think that makes the most sense, just to make sure we can get something out the door in a relatively timely fashion.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. I can confirm that on backend side it will be same no matter what we choose.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's fine to start with something easier and then add the second mode or something like that.
Well, I think it's going to give us a lot of information that way. If we can track usage of the sort of tree view or visual view versus the list view, and we can see that the tree view is getting the usage we're hoping it will get. If more and more people are viewing that tree and using that, then we know that that's sort of a higher demand option that we want to invest more time into. But it also gives the front end team the chance to sort of develop it as we go. Like first just view things and then look at options for if you can click on like one of the bubbles and bring up like a modal or something that shows the information of that particular requirement. If that's getting used a lot, then maybe we allow them to edit, but it'll be incremental that way and it'll be a much more smaller iteration step. And as you said, yeah, the back end is going to have the same back end. So it's just how you're interacting with that is really what we want to determine from usage. Any other questions from people? Okay, well, if there's not a lot of other discussion, I can give people back their time. I don't want to take extra time from people. I know we're all busy. If there's any questions at any point, feel free to reach out to me either on Slack or in the next requirements office hours. I'd be happy to answer questions. And as we move forward, I'm sure there'll be lots more discussion as we start breaking this down and actually doing the work. So I'm good to end this if everybody else is.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.